scary looking model. Can I use one? Can I see one that's a little bit better together?
Yeah.
You can put that behind you. Yeah, there you are. Make sure you, that's good. That's good. All right. All right. So then we got that. Okay, good. We got some little equipment up here. That's a 45. Will not be useful to us at all. We're going to use a 30-60. Thank you. All right. And Amanda's this paper. I'm going to put it over the top of this. Actually, I think it might just stay over. And who in here, you were the only one who missed the demonstration for grafting?
I missed it.
Oh, you did too? Okay. Well then, I'll kind of reiterate some of the things that we talked about, okay? And so that you can do that as well. And this is a gift for you. Okay.
Is that what you've always wanted?
Oh, yes.
It's beautiful.
Don't say I never gave you. All right, there you go. And we have some dots, please. So we're here. Yeah, they don't always come out quite properly, do they? All right, this is going to be interesting. There's nothing worse than wearing glasses in the rain, too, right? Boy. So I was like going like this, trying to light my car, and then a dump truck nearly ran over me, and because it was backing up, and I couldn't see, but I did hear a beep beep, and I was thinking, what's that? Then I went like this, and I went, well, that's probably that truck coming at me, which now I'm in the blind spot. So I kind of dashed out of the way and made it here. You know that when this Villa Savoye, you're getting familiar with it, right? Well, it's interesting because of the era when I went to school. There were only a few architects that we were really allowed to look at. That would be Frank Lloyd Wright, Le Corbusier, Mies van der Rohe, maybe a few other ones, maybe Louis Kahn. Do you know Louis Kahn? Well, he was actually at my school teaching. You don't know him? Okay, check that out. And then, we did that so that when I graduated from my first degree in architecture degree, let's see, my father said, well, you know, you're an architect, so you should design a house. Why don't you design a house for your mother and I? So I said, well, yeah, let's do this, you know? And so I was on a travel, you know, after graduation with friends. I went on a 6-month travel around the United States. Don't ask me what I did. Anyway, so, and we had fun. It's a good thing, right? It's a good thing, okay? Just took buses everywhere, did this. It was safer then, not completely. And then it was good. So you do all that kind of stuff and everything, and he says, you know, as bait, I think, for me to come home. He said, here, we have some money, you go find a lot, whatever, and we'll build a house. So I found a little place on an island in Florida, okay? And so there's a little thing, and then what kind of house would they want? My parents are very German. And so very minimalist people and everything. So I built a little mini Villa Savoye. White, concrete pilotis, raised off the ground, car, serpentine, wooden walls underneath, and then everything white on the top like that with these things, these solar chimneys that go up like that to bring light in and everything. And but I still have it. I inherited it because I'm the youngest of all of 8 children. So they all died, and most of them, and then I get everything. Okay, so it's all good. Anyway, so it's this is the short story, sorry. Okay, but, so I'm very familiar with this building because these were our models for understanding good architecture, okay? You have a lot more opportunities to see architecture and interiors that will model things for you. But you know what's harder is that it's just like the internet, it's not really filtered. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know anything on the internet's actually true? You gotta work pretty hard, right? So what I'm gonna say is then that when we present in school to you good models for good design, take them seriously, because those have already been tried, true, proven, and they have good substance. Sometimes you see in magazines, ooh, look at this, and all of a sudden there's no substance, okay? And it's really hard for you to know that, right? So sometimes your teachers will say, well, look at Louis Kahn, or look at Corbusier, or Mies van der Rohe, or Rem Koolhaas. This is newer, right? Rem Koolhaas, big, you know, that's another firm, low tech, and you look at those, you should pay attention, because then we're telling you, hey, these are the people you should look at. So we're curating the people we want you to see, okay? And that's why when you're looking at some nice architecture here, some of them I would go, oh, let's not look at that, let's not look at that. And it doesn't mean we don't look at Viking, what was that churchy thing called?
Stave church.
A stave church. Well, doesn't mean that it has to be modern. No, that is significant as well, okay? But some of the stuff that we see in magazines and stuff is just, here's some German for you, schmaltz, okay? It means just pure fat. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's cool. Like the first word that comes out of your mouth is cool, but it's not smart. It's just stupid stuff, okay? So we have to teach you how to be able to figure that out as well. So anyway, we are going to draw this thing. Now, when you look at that drawing up there, then you see then that it is all designed so that, imagine then here we have a line, a parallel line, okay? And then if you look at it, then see this is the 90, this is the 60, this is the 30, right? And you know from geometry that 90, 60, 30 adds up, right? Okay, so then everything is drawn this way. This is a paraline projection, okay? And so this line is at 30. So is this one, so is this one, so is this one, because it's a parallel drawing, okay? There you go. And then here over here, you have parallel, okay? Now, what you can do is we look at only 3 drawings for this drawing. We'll look at the roof plan, this elevation, and this elevation, okay? So, in a paraline drawing, it's not perspective. Perspective continues towards a vantage point, right? A viewpoint. And what it does is it has a diminishing set of dimensions that are not knowable exactly, okay? Because they're dimensionally diminishing. And so, well, they're knowable, but it's confusing. So we'll do that later. What will happen here is that we'll be able to measure from here to here with your scale, and at 1/8 inch, and we will know the height of this, and if we measure this one, we would know the height of it. So this measure set is like that. Now wait a minute, this drawing is so big, this one's so small, but we start out with all the drawings, all of them being at 1/8 inch. So we know how to scale them, we know how to organize them, and we're done. Then we scan them, and then they get changed in terms of size, but not in terms of proportion. Does that make sense? So what you see up here is unscalable, and we use a graphical scale to tell us how big it is, because this is a design drawing. We have 3 kinds of drawings that we do in architecture and interiors. We do design drawings, and then we do construction drawings, and then sometimes we do presentation drawings, right? So this one is a design drawing to help us understand the size of the building and its different parts, okay? Now, what we also need to remember then is that all we need is this plan this elevation and this elevation because that's all I see. Then what we do is we transfer those dimensions, okay, very carefully, and we can create this drawing. This is not perspective, this is a paraline drawing. And in this case, it's an isometric, okay? So, let me show you this then. Okay, so I'm gonna need a little assistance from the maker of that. Now, and then this is one of the reasons that I asked you to go ahead and make this model as well, because now you're able to take this model and you're able to look at the view and start, I mean, I'm seeing with two eyes, so therefore I'm seeing perspective, right? But when you go into SketchUp, your SketchUp model, and you have it on parallel projection, remember? Go to camera, parallel projection, not perspective. And you could twist that around and rotate it. You could actually rotate it until you see that view, right? So what I'm doing is I'm giving you all these visualizing tools to understand how this thing is going to look, because you can't draw something if you don't know how it works. It's very hard, okay? And this is helping you, that will help you, and SketchUp model will help you. Now, so you can choose for your isometric this view, or that one, or that one, or that one. From experience, I can tell you they are all equally hard, okay? I think the difference will be, wow, do I want to have the challenge of seeing all of those ramps? Or just a bit of it? Or none of it, but then this nightmare here? Okay? Okay, and then this one, okay? It's up to you. I will let you choose your challenge. I think some of them are a little bit easier, okay? You can choose your challenge, but then ultimately you're gonna have to put it on a board and everything, but all of them will be fine. Okay, so now